Hello, everyone. You're watching Newcastle United Life and Times YouTube channel. My name's Rob Britt, and on the show tonight we have Alan, Paul, and
All right.
Glenn. And we've got a variety of topics that I'm sure the lads will get their teeth into tonight. So we'll start off with the Carabao Cup draw. We were drawn against Manchester City, a home draw in the third round, which will be played on Wednesday, the 27th of September, 8 o'clock kickoff, and it's live on Sky. Right, Len, do you want to have your pennies worth on this one?
Well, I'll be quite brief on it. It's the second hardest tie we could have had. The hardest one being Manchester City away. And I think it's, I'm looking at it positively. It's going to be a fantastic game. It's a busy week. It couldn't have been a tougher tie. I think we've got Sheffield United away the weekend before and Burnley the weekend after. So there's three massive games that week. And the way the season started, it'll be interesting to see how Eddie handles it. I do think we'll go in with a full strength side on the cup game, and we'll try. If we get through the next round, we've got to be canny favourite to win the actual cup itself. So it's going to be a really tough game, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Alan?
Well, there's that little thing what was on Twitter about we're supposed to be ball 19, not 20. So, had to happen to Newcastle. But like I say, if there's any time to play Man City in the cup, it's the early rounds. We have to take on the big boys. So we'll just take. If we take out the big boys nice and early, we should have an easier one.
Very good. Paul?
Yeah, I echo what Alan's just said there. I think you'd rather play them now than say like a semi-final, wouldn't you, where they possibly put a stronger side out. I know we'll probably rest 2 or 3, but I remember last year, I think that I know they took the keeper out, but they did change about 8 or 9 players. But Man City changing 8 or 9 isn't like a normal side changing 8 or 9, is it? Yeah, they're bringing like for like in more or less, and unless it's Haaland, like. So I mean, it will be tough, but at home, I fancy we're against anyone, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I think they'll know they're in a game.
Yeah, I think that's the key. It's a home draw, so it could have been at home. You've just got to fancy against anyone, like you've said. So yeah, that should be.
We nearly had them last season, if you remember. Remember 3-1 up.
Yeah,
it should fell apart a little bit in that league game.
It should be a fascinating encounter, which I'm sure we're all going to look forward to. So, right, we'll move on to yesterday's Champions League draw. For me, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, the group of death, bring it on, bring it on." Alan, do you want to kick this off?
Right, that's it. I echo what you say, Rob. You've got just enjoy it. We thought we'd never be here in a few years. When Mike Ashley was here, we'd never dream of being in this position again. So after over 20 years absence, I think bring it on indeed. There's some great fixtures there. Dortmund, never played Dortmund in Europe. AC Milan, that little Tonali thing going on, and PSG. But Mbappe coming to St James's Park. That should be a right treat. That's a right treat.
Mm-hmm. Paul?
Yeah, just on about Mbappe. I mean, last season he said he'd never heard of her, but I think he'd hear of her this season. I think it's a cracking cup draw. I think going to Dortmund and Milan, it's just we're going to take so many thousand over there. It's just going to be fantastic for the fans, isn't it? Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that the fans, is it the Wall it's called at Dortmund? I think it's we'll probably get about 12 to 15,000 tickets for there if it's an 80,000 capacity. Milan, I don't know what Milan holds, but I imagine we'll take about 10 there. And obviously,
well, you won't see your Mackham for starters.
Yes, Darren Eales' comments. Yes, brilliant. But I think I wanted the big sides. I know a lot of people were saying, you want to progress, but I think they were saying yesterday we're second favourites to win the group. I just think it shows Milan and Dortmund aren't the sides they were the last couple of seasons, and I think PSG are going through a bit of a rebuild, aren't they? With Neymar and Messi leaving, and Verratti going to Saudi, so I think that they'll not be one to play us. And the best bit for me for that draw was the little when Newcastle came out. Did you see it? Oh, that's the little
Paul,
that said we're back.
Do that again.
Oh, and that's what that's. It's like an old flagrant, that wasn't it? That was just like saying the old Newcastle United's back. Fantastic, and boy, are we back.
Len?
Well, it's a tough draw. It's a fantastic draw. You know, we're going to have 6 cracking games. Even if we don't qualify, I think we'll give it a good go. I was fortunate enough 20 years ago to go to a couple of away games. Last time we were in the Champions League, I went across to Turin to watch us against Juventus, and Milan against Inter Milan. And I know from experience what a fantastic...
I couldn't get the time off school then, I couldn't go.
Oh, yes, I thought you'd say that. But I know from first-hand experience what a fantastic adventure it is in Europe. And the reason I went is because I thought, well, this is a one-off opportunity in my lifetime to go and see European football. And it's almost proved right, really, because we've had to wait over 20 years to get back into it. But as you said, Paul, this Dortmund, I've seen a couple of matches they've played, and the atmosphere they create, to give them some credit. You know, if you look at both the home and away games, they're going to bring some supporters over here and make St James's Park an absolute festival, really, for that. And AC Milan, Tonali, as you say, Al, going back against his old club. PSG, I think out of them all, I know, Paul, you said, you know, maybe not as good as what they were, but they generally win the French league every single year. And I think PSG still will be the hardest of the 3 games.
Yeah,
yeah.
But I can see we're winning a couple of games, probably at home, and maybe he's picking a point or 2 up away, and that's probably going to be enough to get through. So it's really something to look forward to, and it's hard to believe that it's only going to be a matter of, you know, a few weeks and we're playing teams like this. It's fantastic. It's happened so fast, really, compared to what everybody anticipated.
Christmas has come early, hasn't it?
Well, yeah, definitely.
Christmas has come early. I think you mentioned Tonali going back to AC Milan, but did he not play for Borussia Dortmund a couple of years ago?
Loan. I think he was on loan, wasn't he?
Aye. So it'll be.
I'll be good in going back. Aye.
I think, looking at the fixtures, I think the home games you've got to fancy with. You've got to fancy to get some out of home games, and then away from home, it's a bonus. But I mean, if we're qualified, it'll be unbelievable.
I think it's the intensity, though, isn't it? At home, are going to be so intense.
Of course we are.
I think these foreign teams in their leagues, it's a lot slower, isn't it? That's why
they'll get a shock
struggle against teams like Liverpool in it when they go to like nights at Anfield, because they're in their face, aren't they? And I think we're going to be like that. The crowd are going to be at them. We're just going to be so up for it.
You think? I mean, I personally think, you know, the fact that we're playing these big teams will be a big advantage to Newcastle United, because I think, you know, can you imagine the floodlights, nighttime matches, the atmosphere? I think it'll work in our favour. So I think it's good that we're being drawn against 3 of the hardest sides in the competition.
Yeah.
And I think I'm right in saying I don't think Eddie Howe's lost a night game at St James's, has he? Is that correct?
Couldn't tell you.
Well,
Al, you're
the stat man. Come on.
I can confirm that.
Yeah, you're probably right, but you know, it's well, there you go. Long may that trend continue, then, Paul.
Yeah, hopefully.
Right, all good stuff. Right then. I've never watched episode 4 of the Amazon documentary yet.
No, neither have I, Rob. Neither have I.
I haven't seen it. I'll watch it later.
I'll watch it on the night.
I think it's common knowledge that from June next year, Newcastle United will be wearing Adidas.
Wow.
Which reportedly it's on a. I don't know how many. Do you know how many years it's over, Paul?
5 years.
Is it 5 years? Which is great, you know, a lot of money coming in. And like you touched on it last week, Adidas, historically, they do good tops. Quality, look good. Yeah. So that should be...
And they won't run out of shirts, Rob. They won't run out of shirts.
Well, the mate in Alan's size, the extra, what is it, Alan? 4 extra larges. Is it 4 extras?
Well, in Adidas, I'm 3XL.
3XL,
But I still fit in the Adidas tops I had since I was 15. They didn't start there with it.
Look at the finger. Huh?
I've still got the European one where Sibierski played in, you know, with the light blue sleeves.
Well,
I've
you're
still
showing
got
your
that
age
one
there.
and it still fits.
All right.
Oh, it's me feeling sad.
So yes, that'll be cracking to see the lads in Adidas next June. So right, and we covered all that, so we'll move on to the match preview.
Yeah, bring it on.
Right, so obviously we're at the AMX Stadium tomorrow night, 5:30. Len, do you want to kick this one off?
Yeah, well, I think it's going to be a tremendous match. I'm full of positivity despite the previous result. I think this is two teams who are coming in on the back of bad results for different reasons. You know, I think our performance was all right for large parts of our previous match, but things went against us at the end. They, from all accounts, Brighton put in a poor performance and got beat last week. So I think it's two teams that'll be eager going into the international break. They'll be eager to win the game, and I think Newcastle United will just shade it. I think it'll be a very close game. I think it'll be a good game. I'm not sure how much possession we're going to get, but it's important that the possession we'll get, we do make the most of it. I would make possibly one or two changes. I don't know if you want us to cover those now or whether we'll cover them separately. But the changes, I will cover them now then. Well, assuming everybody's fit, I'm waiting for Big Al's. Big Al's going to trump us all here with his changes because I suspect he's changed 11. But assuming everybody's fit, I would just be sticking with the same back four. And the only changes I would make is I'd bring Longstaff in for Bruno. Sorry, Paul. And you know, it breaks me heart to say that I might drop Miggy to the bench and bring in Barnes and maybe move Gordon to the right, Barnes on the left. I'm really, really keen to see Barnes start a game. He's got goals in him, and what we need tomorrow is goals. So I'm predicting a narrow win, probably 2-1, something like that.
Okay, very good. I don't know whether to go for Alan or Paul. Yeah, we'll save Alan till last, eh?
Keep Alan with the last because that'll be funny.
Oh, well then, Paul.
Well, I think Len's going to say keep the same back four, but I think from what I'm hearing, Botman's out for tomorrow. So I think Burn will be coming in, left-sided centre half. Matty Target will probably come in. And the rest, I'm not like Len. I would keep. I haven't given up on him yet. I would keep Bruno in, and Joe Linton was a doubt. So does Longstaff come in for Joe Linton? Because Joe Linton hasn't looked fit the last two. Man City didn't look fit, and then he was limping all the way through Liverpool. And he went off. He hasn't looked the same player since that Villa game. But we seem to be giving up on these Brazilians. And then I think on the right, Len could be right. We could maybe take Miggy out and put, I don't know if I'd be tempted to put Murphy in. I wouldn't switch Gordon to the right because he's doing so well on the left. And Harvey Barnes, I'm not sure how many times he's played on the right. Did he play there for Leicester much? Or?
I think he did a little bit.
He did it. I'm sure he did.
And maybe he's but I think, to be honest though, with Matoma on the left, you might need somebody's pace. So I think it could be. I think you could just have to keep Miggy in to keep Matoma quiet because he'll chase all day, Miggy. And I would just keep the same. Like I would keep that. Obviously, Isaac up front, getting behind their defense because they're quite slow. I think Dunk's like a bit of a cart horse, isn't he? So I think, and I think we just need to go at them because I know last week they played West Ham. They had about 80% possession, but a lot of the time they don't go anywhere with it. But we need to be better with the ball than we were in the second half against Liverpool. We're giving it away so cheaply. We need to keep possession better, like. And I think with Tonali in there, I think he's a really good passer. So I think we'll bounce back tomorrow. Yeah, I think we'll bounce back.
Okay, now for the grand finale, Alan.
Well, it's going to be a tough game. It's the we're looking for a first away win in the Premier League in 7 attempts at Brighton. The referee Stuart Atwell, and he's overseen 4 unbeaten games last season. He done the Premier League and the League Cup against Southampton. He done the draw at Bournemouth, and he also done the home win over Manchester United. So that might be good. And Darren Bond is on VAR. Team-wise, where's Paul gone? Where's Paul gone?
He's not. He's away to sign some more overtime for the mother. I think guy's back.
Sorry, my son had a pizza delivery and he didn't answer the door. Sorry.
So I've got Stuart Atwell's the ref, mate,
Right.
just in case you missed it.
So what, Stuart, right? Oh, well, yeah, you went through 11 changes.
Oh, he hasn't
No, I
started
haven't yet. Right. In goal, I've stuck with Pope. I would, Dubravka, I would consider, if he gets tips up in this game, definitely after the international break, I will make a change. And it speaks volumes when he hasn't made it for the England squad this time.
So Gareth Southgate ditched him, and you were prepared to ditch him as well. he's had a hell of a week.
He's in goal. Like I say, back four of Trippier, Shaw, Byrne, and Target. In midfield, Tonali, Longstaff, and Elliot Anderson.
What?
Yes, I do. And up front, I have Gordon, Isaac, and Barnes. There you go. And that'll get you your first win. That'll get your first win in 7 attempts. There you go. You feel it here.
Hey, Al, it's not a bad team, that, I have to say. I think we've got a lot of players, who are very similar. Like, I think we could bring 3 or 4 in. I don't think he will. We'll bring 3 or 4 in, and it's not going to make the team any worse. It'll just be a fresh pairs of legs in different departments. So I think that team's all right, Al, despite probably Paul. I think you've tinkered too much. I think that's all right.
But I think Anderson's very unlucky, isn't he, not to be starting any games pre-season he had, like.
The pre-season was fantastic.
Well,
he couldn't have done any better.
The funny thing is, you just said that. You've just said that. And I put him in my starting lineup, and you twisted your face.
That wasn't just him.
So
you're right, Paul, just to go back to Anderson, pre-season he was outstanding. There's no way in the world you would have. I thought he would have started the season. I thought he would have started the season ahead of Tonali. As it happens, the manager has made the correct shout because Tonali's come in and been superb. Yeah. But I thought they would have waited a match or two, and Tonali might not have appeared as yet.
I think
so. It does make you wonder. Once the season gets going, Anderson will figure in probably, in my opinion, probably in 10 or 15 games this season, and I think he'll make an impact this season, and he'll build on it from there. But it's so hard now with the amount of players that we've got and the quality that we've got. But it's only going to help his game because in training and that type of thing, he's surrounded by these superb players, and you can see how that's benefited him in the last 12 months.
And don't forget, he scored 2 in pre-season against Brighton, I think, as well, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, he did, yeah.
I think you've got Lewis Miley as well. He could, he's not getting a look in as well. I thought he would have been, getting more involved.
Called up the under 19s as well, hasn't he? England under 19s.
England under 19s for Louis Miley, yeah.
I think you've got
Elliot Anderson for Scotland. I don't know if
I think now you've got so many options from the bench. Something that
Joe Willock as well, then to come back.
Like a new signing, isn't he? I think I've mentioned that, but it's true. He'll come back in and he'll have a hell of a fight to get in the team. And he was superb at the back end of last season. So it's all positive going forward. But then when you look at that group of 3 games, around the Carabao Cup, 3 games in probably 8 days or something like that, that's where you start thinking that Elliot Anderson will step in for one of those league games probably, or possibly even the Man City game at home, and that's where these players have got to be ready to come in. And pre-season, certainly there's 2 or 3 of those players that maybe in the past would have ditched are now stepping up to the plate and thinking, right, I'm going to give it a good go here. So it's all positive from a squad point of view. And I think Eddie Howe alluded to it today on a part of the press conference I saw where he basically said the numbers are better than last year, but last season, and the quality is better. So going forward, it's, providing we don't get, a number of injuries, I think we're going to be okay. And that hopefully starts tomorrow.
What do you think the score prediction will be tomorrow, Len?
2-1 to Newcastle.
Paul?
Tempted with that. I can't get the same as Len, can I?
No, I think I'll have a £5 in my hand tomorrow, Paul. I'll be putting something on with you.
Right, I'm going to go 4-1 then.
Whoa, excellent.
Alan?
I'll have a £5 on that.
Excellent is my middle name. 4-1.
Alan?
1-1 draw.
Oh,
1-1 draw.
What with all the changes you've made?
You don't follow my changes.
No wonder
If you follow, I tell you what, if he follows these, we'll win freaking 7 now.
Well, I think, providing everyone's fit, I think he'll start with exactly the same 11. If Botman doesn't make it, Burnell.
Botman's not trained. He hasn't trained.
Burnell jump in there, and then Target will go to left back. So, yeah, I think we just start with the same.
And that brings Lewis Hall onto the bench. He'll be on the bench, Lewis Hall, because he didn't make it last week, did he? Another week full training.
Newcastle 2, Brighton 1. That's
good prediction. That good prediction. That
I would like to see the win, but
Rob, is that not the prediction? Is that not 3 2-1s in a row you've predicted, Rob? Is this just the norm? Is it?
I take each game as it comes. Today's prediction for tomorrow's game is 2-1.
Okay.
Now the next game,
we're having 1 and 7 attempts, mind you.
Alan, look, I've told you before, right? All these we haven't won in so many. Like, it means nothing. Each game is judged on its own merit.
Sorry, I forgot. I keep forgetting these stats.
No.
By the way, you know, when you were talking about the fixtures around the Man City game, when does the Champions League fixture start? Like, when's the first game? I haven't decided where we're playing.
I think they're not getting announced tomorrow.
Yeah, but the dates were announced, weren't they?
Well, I don't know.
A few weeks ago. It kicks off
the
in
dates
September, isn't it?
The dates are announced, yeah. And then you play Tuesday one week and then a Wednesday the following week. I think that's how they work it.
Is it this month it starts?
19th, is it? 19th, 20th, Rob?
Oh, I think it's a back end
So
of September.
You've got that
2 weeks
league game. Now, you've got the League Cup game, you've got Champions League in there, and then some tough games in the league as well.
It is. I'm just having a look there, just on the unofficial NUFC website. 19th and 20th is the first game. 19th and 20th of September.
Because we've got Man City in the Cup on the 27th.
Yeah.
So a big one of games, that.
Hey, I tell you, the more you look at these fixtures, right, I'm just having a little glance. I wouldn't normally do. I don't take notes like what Big Al does. He's making books of notes. So I'm having a quick glance here. And when you look at these fixtures coming up, you know what a great time. Shut up, man! What a great time it is to be a Newcastle United supporter, because you know you're getting excited with like Man City in the cup, and then you're looking at these Champions League games, and then somehow the league sort of, you know, it doesn't look so. It's just so many games in a short space of time. It's going to be really fantastic. It's going to be very interesting to see how the squad does deal with it. You know,
how we deal with this in podcasts and that. Because I tell you what, it's a hell of a lot of podcasts.
I know we're going to have to
do 3 a week. 3 podcasts.
Jesus Christ!
Might be 6.
Are you booking it on overtime?
Paul, listen, we know you haven't got time to do 3 a week because all the overtime you're doing, you just made the need show, man.
I know. That's what happens when you're hard working like me, Rob.
Well, no comment.
Nobody's commenting on that.
So yes, at this moment in time, all good being a Newcastle fan. I'm going to watch the episode 4 of the documentary after this. Actually, I'm going to watch it. Yeah.
I think it's important tomorrow, though, we don't lose. I think it's very important. Like I said, if you're talking 3 defeats out of 4, I know not badly, but it's points dropped, isn't it? It's hard to catch them back up.
Now you've mentioned the L word, Paul. The L word's been creeping in there. Somewhere.
Alan, you got something wrong with your finger.
No.
Aye. So yes, well, anyone got anything else to touch on?
No, all I was going to say is, have you, sorry, I say we as if I'm here every week, you know, I might not be, but have we got anything planned, or you got anything planned for the international break, Rob? As far as podcasts are concerned, not your personal life.
Yes, well, what I would like to do is, I would like to do a show, we'll all come on and we'll just discuss that wonderful period under Kevin Keegan.
Oh, brilliant.
My own personal memories, you know, things.
Which period, Rob? The first, the second, or the third?
The first. But not as a player, as a manager.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the entertainers
Right,
and
yeah.
stuff.
The entertainers.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah.
And also I wouldn't mind doing like just for fun, like a quiz, like a bit like a Newcastle quiz, which I think will be quite a lot.
He's turned into Bruce Forsyth.
Don't forget your best Newcastle 11.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, your best Newcastle 11. I mean, we'll have a bit chit chat about it, and yeah, we'll do something along them lines. But I'm looking forward to the entertainers one because there's so many great memories.
Do you know what it is, Rob? You're right. I can tell the way you're talking there. It's the same for me. I mean, it captured the imagination, didn't it? Them 2 or 3 seasons in particular. You still watch the highlights back now, and it shivers down your spine, isn't it?
Do you know what it is, Len? Right, I can remember when we were riding high under the Keegan's Entertainers. I was on Gosforth High Street, and I'm sure it was Greg's or somewhere I went into, and there was a couple of old grannies. Right, there must have been about 80. And they're like, "Oh, did you see the match last night?" And it just captured everybody.
It did.
Everybody. And it was just, everyone was talking about like Newcastle. Everyone was. It was like Keegan came and like he put like a spell on them all, didn't he? And it was just the only sorrow thing is that we didn't actually win the title. But
I think that finished him a little bit, didn't it? It sort of that really hurt him. That didn't Keegan.
But you know what I mean. We're nearly
that for the show.
The fact. I just think at the time it was purely an entertainment. What we have to remember is football is an entertainment, and despite the fact we didn't win anything, everybody, as you say, everybody and their granny in Greg's on Gosforth High Street was watching their matches and was suddenly interested in Newcastle United. It looks as though we're going to be getting somewhere back towards that now.
Definitely on.
But it'll be it'd be great to sit down and talk about that for half an hour at some point in the next week or two.
Rob, that's funny you should mention that because my granny stopped going to the bingo on the back of Newcastle doing well. She says, "I'm not going to bingo anymore. I'm just going to watch the match."
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, there you are. Now, Paul's granny.
We saved these stories for that
wonderful
podcast, because that podcast will have out.
Wonderful memories. I tell you, But yes, we'll save all them for the show. I mean, if you can think of some like good memories, just like jot them down because you might forget them, But I'm sure we've got lots of jolly memories to mull over. Right, lads. Thanks very much for coming on the show and the pre-match show, the match reaction show. Sunday. How are you for Sunday?
Yeah. Depends on what time.
Are you doing overtime on Sunday, Paul?
No, I'm not at work, so I should be available.
Right. Say about 4 o'clock Sunday?
Well, should we say about 3 because there'll be a match on at 4?
Right. 3 o'clock would be good for me.
Yeah. Good for you, Alan? 3 o'clock?
I'm going for my dinner, man.
At 3 o'clock?
I'm taking the wife and the bear out to Shields.
Oh well,
I should be. Yeah, we'll see.
Well, we'll see.
You just have to do it from. Right. You just have to do it from the Toby Carvery or wherever you're going.
I would. You know what it is? I've done it from a barbecue. I'll do it on location.
Good lad.
Just kind of big Al's locations.
Good lad.
Do it from the
key. Right. Everyone. Thanks for watching, and well, I'm gonna have to shoot. So, don't forget to like and subscribe the channel. Doesn't cost anything, and it's very much appreciated. And from myself, Alan, Paul, and Len, we shall see you all on Sunday. Take care, everyone.
Thanks, honey.
See you later.
Cheers.